Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Speak, Film, and Enter, a podcast where we review and rank movies. I'm Nate.
And I'm Dylan.
And today we have our February recommendations episode for you. And what that is just once a month, we like to go through and find 6 different movies from 6 different categories that are on streaming and recommend them to you, the viewers and the listeners, in case you're looking for something to watch. And we all go through those times where we scroll for 3 hours and then end up watching nothing. So hopefully this can help you make some decisions. Dylan, do you want to go through what the 3 categories are the 6 categories are before we get started?
Absolutely. We have new movie, hidden gem, classic, family movie, foreign movie, and last but not least, popcorn movie.
Yeah, and this one should be fun because we split these up. So I took 3, you took 3. We didn't communicate on these at all, and we pretty much just have 2 of the streaming services represented this time. So
we try to keep it to the big 4, or for new movie it can be in theaters.
Big 4 or 5, kind of Netflix, HBO, Prime, Hulu, Disney Plus, and yes, the new movie is the only one that can be in theaters, and that's where we're going to start. And this time the new movie is in theaters, and that is Women Talking, which was nominated for Best Picture recently and just came out into theaters last weekend and is one of my favorite movies of the year. Dylan enjoyed it as well, and just trying to get the word out on this movie as much as possible because I think it's phenomenal and deserves to be seen by a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, we discussed how the Oscar nominations for Best Picture are a little weak in our opinions. And I think this one is definitely one of the stronger contenders. And if you can go see it while it's in theaters right now, go for it. So I would also agree with that recommendation. I think that's a good one.
All right. Moving on to Hidden Gem. So we just go right down the list here.
Yep.
It's February. Valentine's Day is in February, so a lot of rom-coms out there. This one I feel like is not as well known, partly because the marketing around it was horrible. It was originally released with the title of The F Word, and then the title was changed. Honestly, if I Googled it just before we started this episode, and in my search bar it says "What If Movie," and then what showed up, like at the top of Google, was a picture for the movie with the title The F Word. So even like searching it, it's weird. And I want people to know it was kind of under both titles. This is a romantic comedy starring Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan, and also co-starring Adam Driver and Mackenzie Davis.
Wow.
So kind of one of those hidden movies that has a lot of A-listers in it that for whatever reason, marketing, did not really find its audience. This is on Prime right now, and basically it's about Daniel Radcliffe plays a character named Wallace who has just gotten out of a long-term relationship, and he meets Chantry, played by Zoe Kazan, at a party hosted by his best friend Alan, played by Adam Driver.
Okay.
And she has a boyfriend, and he's really into her, and because of that, and he doesn't want to stop seeing her, he tells her that it's cool if they're just friends. And so they kind of become best friends, sort of Harry and Sally style in a way, all the while she's still dating this other guy. He tries to tell himself that, no, it's cool. We're friends. Like, I don't even want to, I don't want to date her, whatever. It's a fun role to see Daniel Radcliffe in. The script and dialogue is really witty. I think it's a really funny movie. And then Adam Driver and Mackenzie Davis are sort of a chaotic couple and they're best friends. So they bring a really fun energy to it. Adam Driver has one of my favorite lines ever in a movie, which I may be closing this episode with. So I really, really like this movie. This is one I do like to revisit every couple of years or so. And this is, I think this definitely qualifies as a hidden gem and fits perfectly for February if you're looking for a good rom-com that you haven't seen before.
All right, nice. I am also going to recommend a rom-com that's a little unique in the rom-com category. For classic movie, I am going all the way back to 1971 for Harold and Maude, which I think indeed counts as a classic.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it, definitely worth checking it out. Just because, I mean, it's so bold, and like I feel like it's just shocking that this came out in 1971.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree with that too. This is also on Prime, by the way.
oh yes, it is on Prime. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's on Prime. If you've never heard of it, yeah, young, rich, and obsessed with death, Harold finds himself changed forever when he meets lively septuagenarian Maud at a funeral. So we've got a lot of themes of, suicide and love and wanting to live in the moment, and that's just a very interesting dynamic, very unique love story. So when you get bombarded with all of the typical love stories this Valentine's Day season, worth checking out Harold and Maude.
Yeah,
If you
very different take. Maybe even I was thinking about this, kind of looking at movies with sort of platonic friendships.
mm-hmm.
This definitely
Yes,
fits in that category as
it does.
well. Just one sort of content warning if you've never seen this movie before. If you just look at the picture of the kid playing Harold, you might think that he does not have one of the deepest voices you've ever heard. However, first time viewers may be shocked to
Yes,
hear the baritone and deep tones
yes, you're
coming out of
absolutely
Harold's
right.
mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I had
Yeah,
to
make
pause it. The
sure.
first time I watched this movie, the first time he spoke, I just went, "What?" And
Yeah, and it
I needed
definitely,
a minute,
I feel like it consciously makes you wait for that reveal.
kind of.
Like it's not right away.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, yeah, that's my recommendation for a classic movie, Harold and Maude, which is available on Prime.
Yeah. So sticking with Prime, very popular streaming service this month amongst the
Mm-hmm.
two of us, apparently. For family movie, I'm recommending a 2022 movie called Catherine Called Birdie, which is
Mm,
PG-13, but the lead character is a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, whatever.
okay.
And I'm recommending this first because I think it's very good and really funny. And second, because The Last of Us on HBO Max is kind of killing it on HBO, is kind of killing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the co-stars of The Last of Us is Bella Ramsey. She is the lead in Catherine Called Birdie. So if you've been watching The Last of Us and you're enjoying that and you want to check out more of Bella Ramsey's work, this
Mm-hmm.
movie came out in the fall and is just sitting there on Amazon Prime. And it is a teenage girl in medieval England navigates life and tries to avoid the arranged marriages her father maps out for her. So
Indeed. Yeah, I remember you liked this when it came out earlier this year.
yeah, I think Adam and I did a review of that. If we did, it will be linked here. I'm pretty sure we reviewed it. It's hard to remember. There are a lot of 2022 movies I've seen, but
Yep.
I'm pretty sure we reviewed it. So that's the family movie recommendation. And then moving on to foreign movie, where we will be changing up streaming services here.
Yes, finally, at long last.
Mm-hmm.
For foreign movie, I am recommending Monos from 2019, which is available on Hulu. This one flew a little bit under the radar, didn't get nominated for anything, but really a remarkable movie. It's about child soldiers, children that get swept up in conflicts all over the world. Um, I believe it takes place in Colombia. I probably should have looked that up specifically which country it is.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I believe it's a Colombian movie. But yeah, basically on a remote mountaintop, 8 kids with guns watch over a hostage and a conscripted milk cow. Written and directed by Alejandro Landes, features mostly all unknown actors besides Julianne Nicholson, who's the doctor.
And one of
Uh,
the kids you'd recognize too.
oh yeah, yeah, I can't remember what else he was in, but
I feel like he might have been. Was he that kid who did the like sideline reporting at the Little League World Series for a couple of years?
oh, I don't know.
I might be wrong about that. So that,
Okay,
but that's what I thought the first time I saw this. I also think he was in that story about the Mexican Little League team that won the Little League World Series
interesting.
a few years
Okay,
ago. The movie was a few years ago. They won the Little League World Series in like the 60s or something, 50s
okay.
maybe.
um, but yeah, so from 2019, me and Nate actually saw this together, um, and mostly it's just visually, it's really on another level. A lot of just beautiful shots. Also, the music and the
Yeah.
is the sound. It's just really, really well done. Like incredible score mixed with kind of the ambiance of the jungle, a lot of jungle noises, a lot of kind of quiet, just kind of like hang out on a mountaintop. I mean, it's just, it's a fascinating movie. Definitely worth checking out. Certain elements about it that make it really unique, but I don't want to spoil it. But certainly, yeah, I would recommend it. So that's Monos from 2019. One of my
Yeah,
favorites.
kind of Apocalypse Now meets what the hell's the name of that book? Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
So then lastly, we've got Popcorn Movie, which is a movie that I have not seen.
Yes, popcorn movie from 2002. I am recommending Insomnia, starring Al Pacino and Robin Williams, Hilary Swank as well, and this is available on Hulu. So we're not going back to Prime. Prime already had its time in the sunlight, but yes, Insomnia, action, mystery, thriller, drama. It's an early Christopher Nolan film, which is kind of interesting. Basically, a cat and mouse detective killer game. Al Pacino is the detective. He's got a lot of baggage, and also he suffers from insomnia, so he's kind of losing his marbles. And yeah, Robin Williams in a very against type role, definitely worth checking out. Yeah, just a good movie, really, especially if you're a Christopher Nolan fan. If you like The Dark Knight, his other stuff. I feel like this is one of the more forgotten or underrated Christopher Nolan movies. Certainly, it seems like Memento, which is another around the same era crime movie from Nolan, gets a lot more buzz still today than this one does.
Yeah, I definitely need to see this. And I'm not the biggest Nolan fan in the world, but even just like Robin Williams, this role for him, I feel like I need to watch it just for that.
Yeah. All right. So those are the recommendations for this month. Be sure and tune in, not tune in, but be sure and check out the recommendation episode for next month as well, because we try to update them and make sure that we don't give you anything that's about to leave.
Yeah, that's why we do. That's why we wait until
Mhm.
after the first of the month to record these, because that's usually when stuff kind of switches over. So we don't want to
Yep.
release this on like the 31st and then have something leave Netflix that we told you to watch the next day.
Exactly. And I'll just run down quick just in case you forgot because we went pretty quick.
Mhm.
New movie was Women Talking, which is still in theaters right now. Hidden Gem, What If, which is on Prime. Classic movie is Harold and Maude, which is on Prime. Family movie, Catherine Called Birdie, which is on Prime. And then foreign movie, we have Monos on Hulu and Insomnia for Popcorn Movie, which is also on Hulu.
All right. I think that's a good list of movies.
Agreed. And I believe it is your turn to put a wrap on the show.
It is my turn.
All right. Take it away.
Just had sex and I'm about to eat nachos. This is the best day of my life.